Netflix all day or watching MTV or the Kardashians. Just all the addled, childlike people just everywhere, bumbling around mindlessly. The whole system is just there to just wreck the human mind. It's just absolutely an abomination. We're going to go to Henry and Bella and Terry and others. We've got Joe Biggs and Marcos Morales, as well as Mikhail Phelan, and, of course, Kit Daniels there, doing a great job honing in, investigating where the provocateurs are, who's behind the Molotov cocktails, who's making the threats, are the police involved? We know there's a federal command center there and 50 FBI agents running the show. We know more reporters have been arrested. We know the demonstrators, some of them have been attacking CNN reporters and others, MSNBC reporters. Joe Biggs here to give us a breakdown on what he's witnessed for Infowars.com. Joe?
Joe Biggs, Infowars.com, St. Louis, Missouri. Last night, it was very interesting. We pulled up to the Martial Law Command Center, and I wanted to see if I could get a glimpse of any of the National Guard. And one of the things that was very apparent is still the police are 10 times more militarized than the military itself. The National Guard had on ACUs, which is the Army combat uniform, and a sidearm, and that is it. No riot shields, no full battle rattle, no Kevlar helmets, no batons, no sniper rifles, no M4s, nothing like that at all whatsoever. They were just sitting there directing the flow of traffic in and out of the compound last night.
What else have you witnessed?
Well, last night, we did witness, towards the end of the night, around 11 or so, someone tried to light the barbecue restaurant on fire. It's directly to the right of the QT gas station. A looter came in, lit something on fire, and if I'm not mistaken, he tried to throw something inside the building as well and light that place on fire. Maybe 5 minutes later, a whole swarm of SWAT team members flew down the road, got over there and put that out. We heard gunshots soon thereafter, and some of the rioters came and lit a section of the road, or pretty much the entire road, going back into the condominiums where Mike Brown was killed. They lit that on fire to try to keep the MRAPs and the police from driving down into that neighborhood, and that is the area where people were shot at last night. I didn't see any police officers fire any weapons. They actually maintained muzzle awareness for the first time last night. They had their weapons at the low ready. They weren't pointed at anybody. A lot of officers were out with 9mm in their hands. They actually had them down beside their waists. I'm sure that's due to the negative publicity they have been getting for their unnecessary roughness and just running around pointing weapons at people.
This is just incredible information, Joe. No one has this info. We need to get this in a text report, Kit Daniels or something. We need to go to the scene, talk to the witnesses, and break down what's happening here. This is very important. Well, why is this not coming out in the press?
I have no idea. I'm just telling you what I saw. That's what Marcos and I saw right there. There were press there around us. So if they're not saying anything about it, they're just not doing their job whatsoever. You know, we sat around the side, the MRAPs came in, and the police were yelling on the radio, if you're a credentialed media, you can be there, just don't impede their job and stay on the side of the road. So Marcos and I stayed off on the side of the road, and we filmed them lighting stuff on fire and then running back into the neighborhood and doing that. But most of these people weren't even from the area. These are all outsiders who are just running around trying to start stuff. I even spoke to the guy who owned that barbecue spot. He ran over and he said, you've been here for a while. Do I need to go over there? Should I be worried about anything? And I was like, I believe that the police had put it out. I know they put out the one on the outside, and I could hear them smash the rest of the glass to get in to put that one out. I was like, I think it's safe to say that your restaurant will still be there tomorrow. But he was concerned. He said he was tired of this. He's tired of waking up and living in a war zone. He just wants things to get back to normal. But it's these outsiders who are coming in and terrorizing the community, and they've completely taken away from what the protest even was in the first place.
Now, we know some of the Black Panthers, the new Black Panther Party has been calling for violence. As best we can tell, who are these outsiders?
Well, it's funny. They're calling for the violence, but as soon as it gets around midnight, you know what they're doing? They're leaving. They're out there trying to hype people up. They're telling them that, you know, the white man is suppressing them and that, you know, that we're bad, blah, 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 getting everybody hyped up, get these youngsters' emotions running hot. And then as soon as it's about to snap and go off, those guys go home. And they let these guys get all angry and agitated and run around, start lighting Molotov cocktails, start throwing bottles, start throwing bricks, and it gets out of control. And they just go home and watch it from TV. You know, last night the media was in all their designated areas. And then once the shooting happened, I can understand. The police said, hey, we need you guys to get back because they're shooting at us. Fine, got that. So we moved back out of the way. They were like, you need to go into the marked off area for press. That's a safe spot right now.
Stay there, Joe. Come back and tell us what happened last night straight ahead from Ferguson. Here, I'm genuinely in a bad mood. And that's normal when you've got declassified Army documents written in April of this year preparing to mow down unarmed demonstrators nationwide. And the way the PSYOP will work is they'll be, well, you just must be against our military. Our military would never do that. That's not what we're debating here. That's the default brainwashing out there. Who wrote this? Why was it written by the Department of the Army at the Pentagon? Why is this the official crowd control manual being issued to everybody down to privates? This is outrageous. The point is, answer the manual. Answer why this is being put out. Don't change the subject. That's how the public mind works. Oh, our military will never do that. That'll never happen. Really, we'll never have Obamacare. We'll never have a president ruling by fiat with open borders. We'll never have a private Federal Reserve looting us. We'll never. It will all come true because we don't get upset and say no to it. And the country club class that thinks it's part of the elite is too busy driving their Cadillacs and Mercedes and playing tennis all day and playing golf all day and just hoping that everything doesn't implode around them. We're going to lose everything because you're too busy clutching onto your tennis rackets and onto your golf clubs as if that's all that matters is getting your stroke right or taking your wife out to the theater to act like you're high class. You need to be politically involved right now. This country is burning down politically around us. Joe Biggs is there in Ferguson reporting on the provocateuring, all the things we're seeing. Look, do whatever you can, but I'd go up and talk to those new Black Panther morons and just, you know, they act all powerful like they're in charge. Everyone stands around like it's a press conference because they're arrogant. We need people to go up to them and say, man, why are you race baiting? Hey, you answer the question. You know, it's well known you guys get Ford Foundation money to stir this up. Why don't you come out here tonight when stuff's getting burned down and actually witness what you're stirring up? Because it's outrageous how they're helping set up the police state against their own people. It's a total psyop. And there's some of the new Black Panther people are psyops and are actual operatives. Others are useful idiots. What do you think's going on, Joe Biggs?
I 100% agree with you, Alex. I mean, that's the only way it could possibly be. I mean, just when you get out there and you see them marching and you see them, you know, putting their fists up in the air and they're running around, you know, talking about, you know, their agenda and what they want to do. And then you could see the youth around them getting amped up and, you know, hopping up and down and pulling their mask over their face. And you could see that, you know, that these guys are getting them agitated. But then at nighttime, I noticed I don't see one new Black Panther suit out there. I don't see the patches. I don't see the buttons on anybody. They're out there throughout the day getting everybody amped up. At the nighttime, they are gone. You know, last night was pretty intense. They started shooting gas at us, and as they had us move back into the area because of our safety issues, that they called it, in the neighborhood, once we got out of sight, out of mind, I was reading Twitter, and there were tweets from people living in that community saying that the police were going from house to house searching in there. And there were also reports of, you know, looters lighting garbage cans on fire out there in the area. So I definitely plan on going back out there today and see what I can find in that neighborhood to confirm those reports.
So the reports are that the police are going inside people's houses without warrants?
That's what we heard last night from a few different people.
We'll try to get some eyewitnesses to that.
Out, yeah.
Stay there. We'll be back in 1 minute. Joe Biggs reporting from Ferguson. I'm Alex Jones.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there's a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted. Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.